Student loans were supposed to be a bridge from education to opportunity. But for millions of Americans, that bridge turned into a trap. Today, student debt in the US has ballooned to $1.7 trillion dollars and rising. And behind that mountain of debt is a money-making machine that very few people talk about. Because while students were borrowing for a better life, Wall Street was cashing in. So how did we go from helping students go to college to turning their debt into an investment product? Let's rewind. In the mid-20th century, higher education was seen as a public good. States invested heavily in universities. Tuition was low, and financial aid was often enough to cover it all. But starting in the 1980s, that model began to unravel. Budgets were cut, costs shifted. Colleges started operating more like businesses, hiring consultants, building luxury dorms, raising tuition, fast. Students? They were told invest in yourself, take out a loan, it's worth it. At first, loans were federally backed but issued by private banks. And here's the key. If you defaulted, the government would cover the losses. No risk for the bank. All reward. As college got more expensive, more students borrowed, and banks saw opportunity. By the early 2000s, the game changed. Student loans started getting bundled together, chopped into tranches, and sold on the open market. Just like mortgage-backed securities before the 2008 crash, these were called SLABs, Student Loan Asset-Backed Securities. Wall Street packaged your debt into a product, one they could sell, trade, and profit from. Every time a student made a payment, investors got a return. Every late fee, more profit. Every delay in default, another dollar. It wasn't just lending, it was a debt-fueled business model. And here's the kicker. Student loans are notoriously hard to discharge, even in bankruptcy. They're some of the stickiest debt in America, which means, for investors, that's predictable cash flow. Even if someone can't afford their payments, the system has layers of collection, garnishment, and interest that just keeps piling up. People spend decades paying off their degrees. Some never finish, but that doesn't stop the debt from growing or the profits from rolling in. And while borrowers were struggling to find jobs after the Great Recession, Wall Street was still collecting interest. In 2010, a major shift happened. The government cut out the middleman, ending private banks' role in issuing new federal loans. Now, most loans come directly from the Department of Education. But guess what? That didn't stop private lenders from profiting off the older loans they still held. It didn't stop investment firms from buying private student loan portfolios. And it didn't stop slabs from being traded. Even today, some of the biggest asset management firms in the world are still knee-deep in student loan investments. Because when a 22-year-old signs that promissory note, it can mean years of reliable revenue. Today, more than 43 million Americans carry student debt. Many are still paying off loans from decades ago. And for some borrowers, it feels like there's no end in sight. The Biden administration's attempts at broad forgiveness have hit legal roadblocks. And income-driven repayment plans? They help, but often just stretch the debt out longer. Meanwhile, investors continue to earn. It's a system that asks the most from those with the least, all while rewarding those with capital and connections. This isn't just about individual responsibility. It's about how an entire financial industry was built, not around helping students succeed, but around monetizing their struggle. We took something as vital as education and made it a pipeline for profit. Wall Street didn't create the student debt crisis alone, but they sure knew how to turn it into an asset. And while Americans debate whether student loans should be forgiven, the investors? They've already been paid. Education should be about growth, not exploitation. But in America, even a diploma comes with interest, both emotional and financial. If we want to fix this, we need more than forgiveness. We need to ask who built this system, who profits, and who's left holding the bag. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.